Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, YouTube and beyond. I am Adam, and this is my workshop. Well, it's my kitchen, but it's the name of the channel. Probably knew that if you read the description. I'm going to talk to you today about what I've been talking about at the little Bible study sermon things that I do at a local retirement home. So, the past 2 months, we've been talking about a lot of thankfulness and gratitude. Yes, that's kind of an obvious, with Thanksgiving right there in the name. What else are you going to talk about? But I know for this season in life, I have had to rethink how I think about stuff, honestly. I think it's very easy to try and be thankful when, things are going great. As of late, things have been, well, a little rough. Let's just say the economy is hitting me pretty hard. But I'm finding it more to think about of being thankful for the small things. Case in point, I told the story of the lepers going to see Jesus. I forget the passage right now. Hopefully, you can find that and look it up. It's when Jesus talks to the 10 lepers and he heals them. Basically, the tale is there are 10 lepers. They see Jesus coming and they recognize who he is and they say, Jesus, Lord, help us, save us, heal us. And Jesus says, basically, you're healed. Go show yourselves to the priest. And first of all, I notice in this, they don't complain to him and go, well, that's stupid, that's never going to work, or whatever. There's not negativity. They just simply go and do it. Out of those 10, one guy comes back and he actually thanks Jesus. I don't know how you don't thank Jesus or whomever for, this miracle. And I mean, this would be a more impactful miracle, I think. Out of all the ones we talk about, this one kind of gets overlooked, but how miraculous would this be if your flesh is falling off your arms, basically? I mean, it's leprosy is a bad disease, and then you're good. I would be shouting in the streets. You could probably hear me without the internet. You'd hear me yelling in my yard. So it's surprising to me that only one person comes back. But also, how often do we forget to thank Jesus for his provisions? I mean, yes, times can be rough, but it's kind of like these Forrest Frank songs go, I've got a roof, I've got a phone, I've got food, I've got shoes. No, I'm not wealthy by any means financially, but I have my needs met. I'm not going to starve. I'm not sitting out in the cold. I'm healthy. I don't have, my arms falling off from leprosy. I don't have cancer. I don't have any of those things going on. And I think the general idea with American affluence, especially, is okay, that's fine. That's the basics. You need more. You need a speedboat, and you need a hot wife, and you need a mansion. And you're like, no, no, no. You don't need any of that. Actually, I would say you shouldn't have some of those things because you tend to go, oh, look how wonderful I am. I have made myself this great life. And you tend to forget, well, what is Jesus doing for you? What did God provide for you? I have really a great life in that I have a wonderful son and a wife, and like I say, I've got a roof over my head and I've got food. I've got all my needs met, and I would be going around complaining about not having something somebody else has. No, that'd be rude and that's inconsiderate to what the Lord has done. So, for sure, be like that one leper and actually thank Jesus for what you've got. There's another story I wanted to tell along with these lepers, which was something that my wife actually read in a devotional book. I don't remember who the pastor was saying this, but there was a pastor or missionary. He went somewhere where they had leprosy, and they had a church service, and there was a woman in the back when they were asked, is there any song requests? And this woman is bad leprosy. She looks warmed over death, to put it bluntly, from what the description is. And this woman has every reason to be like, oh, woe is me, crying, or suicidal, or negative, any of this, because, it's bad how bad her leprosy is. And she asks the pastor, can we sing Count Your Blessings? That's convicting. Because I'm going to go around in my, wealthy American life here going, oh, I don't have the stuff that my neighbors have. I don't have the whatevers. I don't have a ton of money. I don't have that fast car or whatever. That's convicting. So think about that when you're going to go around complaining, oh no, I don't have whatever. You have a lot. You have a lot to be thankful for. Even if you are sick, you're alive, you're breathing. God gave you another day on this earth. And I think that should be used for something. Maybe you can do something, for a friend or a family member, or just look for a positive spin on it. I know for myself, I have been having trouble finding a lot of work, so I find myself home a lot of times. But my son, who's pretty young, I get to spend all the time with him. And, I read to him, and we go on walks, and we have all this fun, like lots of father-son bonding time. How many dads don't get that? When I was a kid, I didn't have that much bonding time with my dad. Not because, he was an absent father or anything bad. He was busy. He was working. He had to put food on the table. And, thank goodness he had the job he did because it provided for us. But at the same time, I didn't have as much bonding time with him. And with my son, I get a lot of that. And that is such a blessing. They talk about time going by fast. Also, I'm kind of waxing philosophic here about being a dad. I'm a dad. What are you going to do? Like I've said, I just kind of say whatever comes to my mind. I'm having a conversation with you on my phone on, one way. So you kind of get what you get, and if you don't like it, you can find another channel. But if you are here, I really do appreciate it. I've wanted to make a channel for a long time. So if you are watching these, thank you. Like them, share, subscribe, whatever. That would be nice. So I know somebody's actually listening. But anyway, all this to say, I really hope that you count your blessings, that you consider the good that you have. Times might be tough, yes. I will not deny that. But you have a lot to be thankful for. We all do. We are still here, we are alive, and that means that there's work to do for the Lord. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and go out and go do something fun, but productive.